to our channel, Loving Handcrafts by BMW. This is Brenda. So today I'm going to start off slightly different. And I was thinking about what I had in my stash, what I could use to do some cards today. And I don't have a lot of thank you cards, and I've created a lot of backgrounds over the last year. So I thought this would be a good idea to pull from my stash, to pull from things that I've had, and make a couple of thank you cards. So I'm going to try to do 4 today. And so let me start off with what my thought process was. So in this tray, I have some pre-purchased from the craft store, just these small little note cards. Let me put them over here because I didn't get the measurements. So it looks like I have no idea what that is. 5 and something. It's not quite 5. So let me get out the right ruler that tells you exactly. So this looks like this is 4 7/8 by 3 1/2. So that's like a pretty small note card. It's not your A2 size. So I was like, okay, I've already purchased this, so I don't have to really do a lot. All I need to do is, as we say at work, jazz this up, and make these into some thank you cards. So that was my thought, because I need thank you cards. So then I looked through my stash and I was like, okay, what else do I have that I can use? Let's see, is it in here? Yeah, that I could use to make thank you cards with. So back a while ago, I got on a Poly Glaze kick by Gina K, and I made a ton of backgrounds. And I wasn't quite sure what I was going to do with these backgrounds. I might make a great New Year's card, as a matter of fact. Thought. But I went through and I used her product, practicing and doing some Poly Glaze. So what I'm saying is, this is Poly Glaze from Gina K, and it's foiling. It's a sheet, and you put foil on it, and then it goes through her fuse machine, and then you end up with these results like this. Okay, and then these are A2 size, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So I did that. So I've been holding on to all of that in my. Oh, I got more. Wow, I really did. I really was practicing. So I was like, okay, I got a lot of these Poly Glaze sheets, but you know, not all results are equal. So what else could I use them for? So these are her sentiments that I did not cut out. The nuts and silver. Okay, so that's second thought. Then I had some scrap. I had a big thing of thank yous that I'd already cut out. So some word dies. And I used this word die. I'm assuming not all of them are from Spellbinders, but I used this die says thanks. And I did cut out some more, but I had a lot in my stash. So I'm going to put together a card. And so here's my thought process. So I'm going to use this is one of the Poly Glaze sheets as a thank you. Now I've already cut down this piece, so I'm going to have this as my mat, like so. And then the idea is to cut this down and then put the thank you on top. And then I'll have a nice jazzy thank you card. So for that, I went in and I had some rectangle dies. I'm not sure. I think these are from Scrapbook, I think. So I used this one to cut down the gold foil. So this is basically regular foiled paper, foiled cardstock. And then so I use this one of this rectangle set. And then I'm thinking I'm going to be using, is it this one? Nope, it's this one. I'm going to be using this one to do the little step down. And then that'll give me a nice little frame for this. So I'm going to come back. I'm going to go ahead and cut this off screen and come back and put the cards together. So I've already done that, and then that's going to be that. So I said, okay, well, let me see what else I have. I have this. It's kind of like a purple, but I'm going to use a black matte and a black thank you. And these both need to be cut down. So I'm going to do that. Put that over there. Then I have this other gold one already ready. So I'm going to do another gold one. That's going to be that. And that needs to be cut down. Then I have this one. This is kind of like a turquoisey color. Put that up. Again, I'm going to use a black matte. And that's got to get cut down. Then I have another, like this is like a brushed gold. And I'm going to use this, so I'm going to use that with the blue on top of that. Just because it shows up really good. I'm, again, using what I have in my stash. Then I have this blue. I'm going to use that as the matte. I'm going to cut this down and then, oh, wait a minute. The right blue? No, wrong blue. I'm going to do this as the matte, that and that. And that's old, something I don't know if it looks like pattern paper, snowflake paper. And I'm just going to use that as a thank you card. So that's the idea of doing all of these cards. So I've got a little bit more work to do off camera. And then I'll come back and then we'll assemble all of these cards together. So I'll catch you on the other side. Okay, so I'm back. I've got everything cut out. So I'm ready to kind of do some assembly line production here. So I'm going to be using my Barely Art glue and my little Sweet Petunia glue gun thingy bob. So that's what I'm going to do. So here's my first one. I think it's, bring it down a little closer. I think that's going to be really good. I think that's going to look good. Now, of course, you don't have to do exactly, you know, do exactly like this. I was thinking as I was cutting them out, oh, I could have used some, could very well have used some embossing folders, do some embossed image, do some other things with the backgrounds, but this is kind of where I landed. Get out of the way. Make sure I get everything lined up because I want to make sure. Okay. Alright, let's get going. So I'm going to go ahead and mat this up. And before I do that, it's a good idea to check and make sure your card's facing the right direction before you start matting something. Yeah, that's a voice of experience there for you. I was like, let me check and make sure that's the right orientation. Now, it wouldn't matter so much at this point because these are not directional images, but that thank you when you put it on there definitely would be. I'm just going to move these out the way. Because I'm trying to make sure I get a nice even border all the way around. So I'm just eyeballing it. Doesn't have to be picture perfect, but it is crooked, I can tell. Let me do it this way. Sometimes doing it from the side makes it a lot easier. I know I'm too far over. And so the only thing with this mirrored cardstock that you have to be, or this shiny cardstock you have to be concerned about, it still looks crooked. Yeah, it's still crooked. Is making sure that you don't get glue on the front side. But if you do, wipe it up quickly so it won't set. Okay. Sorry. I think, okay, now that looks a little better. Okay. Put that on there. Oh, that's kind of dirty. That's dirty. I think I got a bigger one. Here. Yeah, that's dirty too, but there you go. It's kind of dirty. I guess I need to clean those off. Okay, so then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use this, and I'm going to glue this second panel, the pretty decorative panel. Glue. Now the thing with this is it's going to take a minute once you get it on here for the, because it's a slick surface, for this to set up. And I usually try to have a baby wipe or something on hand and scooch that over, because I can tell it's a little too far down. You get a little bit of wiggle room with this. That looks pretty good. Oh, isn't that pretty? Doesn't do it justice. Let me grab my baby wipe. Just to kind of clean up the surface before that glue kind of sets. And I can see a little bit right there. There we go. Put you over here. That's pretty. It's so pretty. And then it's got like a little iridescent. It's going to be a nice thank you card. So now, let's see. I think it's going to look good right here. Let me get it like in on the line. And if I wanted to do, think about right there. I don't need anything, any other embellishments. I'm going to make sure I get that like so. Thanks. That's nice. That's pretty. And you can decide if you want to play with it. And this is like backed. Put it down here, but I think here is going to be working. Yeah. If I was going to put it here to have something else as a focal, so I'm going to stick it right here. This is the focal. Okay, that's pretty. Nice shiny thank you card. Okay. So for this, you could have used some double-sided adhesive. When I say this is, it's the foiled cardstock and backed with white, so it's got a little bit of depth. So you can sandwich those two together. And I'm using little bitty dots just because I don't want that glue to ooze out. And then so my idea being is to kind of make sure I get it right about there. Move it over a little. Let it drop. I could have got my T-square out, but it's okay. Yep, that looks fine. I'm going to put that on there. And let that hang out like that for a second. And that's card number 1. Then this is the next card. While I put that aside. Again, there's nothing fancy or schmancy about this. This is just a bunch of thank you cards because I needed some thank you cards for the year. And what I did is I went ahead and did a lot of these thank yous. Because it's a pretty fine script, and sometimes I just didn't use a lot of heavyweight cardstock, so you could cut them out and put double-sided adhesive on this one before you cut it, and then and not glue it, and then basically you turn that into a sticker. Well, I didn't do that. I always forget to do it, and I have it. I just forget to do it. And then you can make these up into layers. And now I just did 2 layers of this. You can glue it together. And then this is kind of what this white is for, like if you didn't want to back it in a color, like I did this one, and this is the gold. And actually I kind of like the white peeking through. So yeah, you just do a bunch of those while you're watching TV, glue them together, then you have them ready to go. And so when you're ready to do some bulk producing or some bulk card making, because you're not doing anything overly like coloring, ink blending, you're just getting prepped for stuff like this. So when you're running out of things and you need something, you need some cards like birthday cards or thank you cards, and you want to mass produce them because you're going to, like, this is the perfect time to do it because we're at the end of the year going into the new year. This is the perfect time to pull out your scrap. So you could actually call this a scrap buster project as well, because I'm using a lot of my scraps and things that I've done, especially not so much the panels, but the mats. Those are a lot of scraps I had. I just riffled through my scrap pile and look at all my colored cardstock that I have, and see, as long as it's big enough for me to cut out and make a mat, then that was what I did. So I call this a scrap busting project as well. So now, well, I guess I gotta use the little things. I gotta get used to using those. So I'm gonna turn it to the side, because sometimes it's easier to make sure it's lined up and centered. And again, it doesn't have to be ultra super perfect. It just has to be on there, kind of sort of centered, looks straight. If you want to pull out this measuring stick and your T-square, whatever, to measure it and get it all lined up, you can do that. But I don't do that, to my detriment sometimes. But it's a handmade gift, or it's a handmade card, so I cut myself a little slack. But it's amazing how well your eye works and how your brain works and can center things. It's absolutely amazing. Okay. I was looking at this. I was like, oh, I could have ink blended like an ombre thing. I don't know if that's going to get lost. Now, see, this is where, now, see, it looks good, but it's lost. The thank you is lost. You can't see it, so it doesn't stick out. Let me see if I use the gold. Thank you. Okay, that's better. Okay. Actually, I was supposed to use this one. Let's see. There we go. That one will work. Put that back. That works. Okay, yeah. I was like, I picked up the wrong thanks. If you wanted to do thank you, you could cut that S off, and then if you have a U die, like you could, or if you use your Cricut, so you don't have to use, I use dies. So if you had a Cricut, and if I had thought about it, I could have cut out a whole bunch of thank you, in different scripts, which is another idea, and did a sheet, like a whole 8.5 by 11 sheet of thank you, and then could actually use that. So it's one way to use your Cricut for some things, and it's one way to use your die cuts and others. Or I could have cut this all out on my Cricut. I could have went in and got everything cut out using my Cricut. And that was a thought when I was putting this together. Oh, I could combine some die cutting with the Cricut, and I could have gotten all my sentiments out. If you don't have a stamp or for a sentiment like that, then I use my Cricut a lot of times, and sometimes I'll go ahead and use my I think I'm gonna do it about right there. This one you could put some gems on if you wanted to, but I'm gonna kind of do it right here. If I didn't have a sentiment stamp or a die, then I use my Cricut for a lot of those. So it's one way to use both, because I like having my Cricut. Don't get me wrong. This is card number 2. And I like die cutting as well. I like all of it. I mean, I'm an equal opportunity crafter. So I like all of it. This is the only one I'm not sure about. Now, I could go back and try to find a purple matte for this. I don't know. It's the one I'm the least. I did the black, but I could have matted with purple. I'm just gonna. I don't know. I'm gonna hang this to the side because that's the one I'm least not sure about. My color choices, but this one's pretty too. Even, you know, that brings it all. We'll make sure this is the right. Yeah, that's. Yeah, okay. This one's pretty. I like this one. So I have done all these. When I got my fuse machine from Gina K, I wasn't sure what I was like, well, why am I foiling all of these? What am I going to do with all of these? Why? They're geometrical shapes. What am I going to do? What am I going to do? But, you know, I was all excited. I was trying a new shiny product. And then I was like, whoops, I hope that went through. Oh, Lord Jesus, let that be the right way. Okay. I kept telling myself, you better check on those. So I was like, what am I going to do with these backgrounds? I really like them. I haven't used them, and I haven't put them on a card, and I don't know what to use these backgrounds for. And I'm just thinking. And then I was like, oh, I need a thank you card. And I was like, Brenda, you need to make some thank you cards because you don't have any thank you cards or thanks cards or note cards for thank yous. I mean, I said, well, I got those foiled backgrounds already, already done. I don't have to do as much. And I was like, I don't know what to use them for. They're pretty, but I haven't used, I don't know what to use them for. And then I came up with this. Isn't that darling? So now I know. And I have a ton of backgrounds, and I'm like, I made all these backgrounds. I'm not quite sure what to do with them. I've used a few, but what am I going to do with all of this? And then it's perfect for simple cards like this. And the foiling of these cards are really perfect because you don't need any other embellishments. And these are really simple layered cards. These are very simple in that one. It doesn't require a lot. It's great for a beginner, you know, because I'm not ink blending, although you could ink blend around on the outside. You could do a lot with these, but I'm not doing that. I'm keeping it real crisp and simple, just a couple of colors. And I'm letting all that nice foiling do its work, do the job for me, do the heavy lifting. Now, if you wanted to, you could turn it and make it, oh, I hadn't thought about making it like this. But I think I'm going to do that with this one. That would be perfect. I hadn't thought about that. Oh, some glue. I'll get that up. So let's put it on straight. Let's get it in there. Oh, that's even better orientation. I like that even better. Thanks fits in there. Oh, that's really nice. I want that up. I wasn't thinking. But, oh, how about that one? That's nice. Oh, that's really gorgeous. Like I said, that foiling, it's just sparkling off the light. It's iridescent, and it's doing all the work for you. I might do another one this way. Do 2 each. Perfect. Okay, I might do, okay, so these are 2. So I'll do, hey, you're just thinking out loud. So I'll leave that like that, and then I'll do the next one. This was the one that gave me the original thought of doing it this way. And I just had this, and I was like, oh, well, you know, if you get something for Christmas or you want to do a Christmas thing, I can set it in just like that. If I put this, that's lost in the sauce. That's why I went with this. So, again, not all of them, you know, I'm going to hit it out of the park, but that was pretty good. Again, another way to use your scraps. So if you're still with me, I really appreciate you hanging out with me as I just freestyle. I call this freestyle, and I'm just doing whatever. I didn't have anything in mind, like a big major project at the end of the year. That's not even. I just was like, oh, I gotta do a video. What am I gonna do a video on? And this is me doing the video on a need. So I had a need to start with. A need to make some thank you cards. And then what could I film? And this was it. Okay, that's not too bad. Again, you could, now I could have jazzed this up, hit it with a little ink blending around the sides. I could have used a snowflake embossing folder for like a winter theme. Not for Christmas. If somebody gets you something for Christmas and you want to send them a nice thank you note, you know, or give them a big thanks, or something like that, or you're being invited to Christmas dinner and you want to send them a thank you note after for their hospitality. You know, maybe somebody you've not family, and you know you've been invited first time being at someone's home. And my parents are old school, so I remember if we were going to someone's family or home for the very first time, I remember my mom and dad making sure that they got them a hostess gift. So, like, you know, things like that. That old school manners, and I mean, it may not have been anything big, but we made sure we brought something for the hostess, for the and I still do that today. Now my parents didn't drink, but my go-to is a bottle of wine, even if they don't drink. I don't want to be offensive, but you can always do like a non-alcoholic beverage or something like that. Even if they don't drink, they can regift it. Okay, right across that snowflake. Oh, I really like the orientation better. I like this orientation better for this, because because the thank you is kind of big. Make sure that didn't get lost. Let me put the brick on that. Alright, and then this is the next one. Almost done. How many cards do I have? I have six cards. I got 6 cards out of all of this, and still could have gone on to do more. I think the rest of them I'm gonna go this way, except for this one. This is I'm gonna have to go this way because that orientation look weird. Does it look weird? I think it looks weird. Oh, I've even seen where they've cut, when I was doing this kind of thing, I was like, oh, that'd have been great. You could have cut 4 blocks of this out. And you don't have to do like this rectangle. You could have cut these out into circles and did a circle in the middle and did a thank you. That would have been something neat too. And think about that. That's a thought. And now I'm thinking, you could have taken this and turned this into a circle. Cut this out in your circle if you have a circle die or your Cricut. And then did this as a circle and put the thanks in the middle. And that would have made a nice card. And that could be what I end up doing next with the rest of them. And then did a matted circle and things like that. I hadn't thought about that. But I'm committed, so I'm going to keep going. But there's all kind of ideas. I don't have a whole lot of shaped dies. in my stash. I have the basics, but that's what the Cricut is for, you know? Because then I could use that, my Cricut machine, instead of the manual die machine. Because it's like I don't have to buy all the dies. I have to buy some foundational ones. And then, or you could go vice versa. Let the Cricut do the foundational, and then you get all the fancy dancy stuff. So that would be a thought too. When I started crafting like this, I only had a Cricut to begin with. It didn't have my manual die stuff. I came to that party late, but I don't mind using both. Both mediums work. Manual, electric, it all works. It's all in the name of crafting. So that's how I look at it. And again, and then what your budget will allow you to do. And I have to remind myself, you don't need to get everything, Brenda. You don't need to. That's pretty. Are you going to use it? That's where I'm at right now in my thought process. When I see a new product that comes out or a new release, I'm like, okay, do you really need that? Are you going to use that? What are you going to do with it? It's pretty, yes. What are you going to do with that? That's what I tell myself. As my, oh, that's pretty. Oh, this is almost like my favorite one. My husband said you could do, oh, I could do it this way too. This was Willie's suggestion. Lay it on a diagonal, like a little diagonal. Won't hurt. I don't know. I guess I'll do that. I'm just playing. I don't know. My brain says no. My brain is saying no. My brain is saying no, no, and no. It's saying that's the way you envisioned it. That's the way you need to put it down. If you didn't like that little thing, you can snip, snip. You can always snip. Okay. Yep, that's double. I should have tripled this one. Like put 3 layers. So yeah, my brain is saying, no, don't do that. No, 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 no. Don't lay it like that. And so I'm only putting dots of glue just to keep it from squirting out. And again, if you use adhesive or double-sided adhesive, then you wouldn't have to worry about that. Press down on that, get that. That's that one. I'll put this one up. Put that one over there. Put that one up. That's that one. And then this will be my last card for the day, I think. Yeah. Just me putting together. I mean, you've seen me do it once, twice. I mean, it's not, I'm not doing anything sexy. I didn't have to make you watch me do all of this, but it was nice visiting with you. Again, I'm almost to the end, and if you watch me to the end, I appreciate it. This one has a little bit of, I don't know if you can see it, but it has something on there. So this is a good way to cover that up as well. I'm looking at doing another. I'm going to try to do, I just got to get everything cut out, and I've never done it. So I'm going to try to squeeze one more in for the holiday. And it was really kind of cool. And I've never done what they were saying. I've never tried it. I found the video and I was like, okay, let me watch this. I have most of everything that they're saying that they have, but I've never done it. And I'm like, okay, I got to practice this one. But it's cool. It's a snow globe thing you have. It's a 3D snow globe. And I need to do a 3D project. So I try to do a card in my rotation. I try to do a 3D project. I try to do some ink blending. I try to do some Cricut stuff on Cricut. I try to go through the things, the playlist, and you know, I try not to do the same thing over and over again. If I learn something new, then I try to do that. Because it's always a learning experience. Content creators, I'm in awe of those who do this full time. I don't do this full time. I have a full time job. I do this because I really, really, really like learning new things, and it feeds and it does something to the soul. You know, my mom crochets and I don't, but still doing something creative with your brain, like feeds that. It takes care of that. It takes care of that. I'm going to do this one down on the bottom, kind of sort of towards the bottom. Like right there. Oh, yeah, I have all kind of thoughts now when I put this together. You can use, if you have washi tape, you can do like a cross. You could do a cross with some strips, you know, to step it up. If you wanted to, you could take some strips of gold or black or whatever, white, and do a cross here, and that would make, yeah, there's all kind of stuff you can do. And doing this project, as I lay it down, because this is very simple, then as I'm sitting here thinking about things, I was like, okay, so you can do something more elaborate and step that simple concept up. And then that's how you grow. You start small. You think of things as you're putting together, because this is like, I don't have anything planned, but as I'm sitting here putting these things together, I'm thinking, oh, okay, if I wanted to step this up again, then you could add some more contrast, some more layers. What would that layers look like, and what would that look like, and what would that be? I think I got a thing in here. I think I gotta poke that out. There we go. And then that creates your mind going like, oh, I could do this next time when I do something like this to step this up. Okay, that's all kind of crooked. I can tell. That's all kind of crooked. Not on the same plane. And I love this style. I don't think I got anything up there. Let's see if don't jack it up, Brenda. Don't jack that up. Don't get glue in that. Nothing like having glue on your mirrored surface. That's why I like to pick up the acrylic blocks and press down with them, because 9 times out of 10, I'll have glue on my fingertips. So I'll have glue here, and then I'll just jack that up. Okay, so let's lay them all out. There's the 2. Different feel. So let's take a look. And you can write your personal sentiment in there. That's the one look. So let me bring it up closer. Can't really see the turquoisey color. It's kind of got a turquoise. And then this is more rainbow iridescent one. So that's those 2. This one's more like a thank you Christmas. That sits up like that. And then this one's another blue. And this one's pretty. I like this one too. So this is one of my favorite ones. And then this one's kind of got yeah, you can kind of see it here. And that's one. And then this is my second favorite. And then that's the last one. And then I have 6 cards that I made, and it didn't take any time. I did a little bit of prep beforehand. And then I was able to pump out 6 thank you cards. And this one, I'm not sure what I'm going to do with. This one didn't make the cut, though I do like it. And I thought this was going to look good, but I think the black, not so much. I might try to find some purple to go back behind here and then see whatever I like. But, you know, that's the process. So if you like what you've seen today, please support the channel with like, subscribe, comment. And I am extremely pleased with the results. And now I've got 6 thank you cards. If I do 6 more, that's 12 for the year. And I think I'm going to do my suggestion where I do the circles. I might end up doing that. Like I don't have enough of these that I foiled. Like the poly glaze, but that would be perfect, and perhaps I can get 2 circles out of that, and then I would be able to make 6 more cards, and I'll have 12 thank you cards for the year. So I'll talk to you guys next time. I'm going to practice my other project, and hopefully I'll bring that to you before the end of the year. And I will talk to you soon. Again, please like, subscribe, comment, and thank you so much for your time today. Take care and see you soon.